Hello guys, welcome on Tesla Adventures. Now in this video, moving forward from IAR, I'll be demonstrating the numerical problems which are based on energy conservation in rotational motion about some fixed axis. So this is the first question in which there is a solid cylinder of mass 1 kg and its radius is 0.5 meter. It is pivoted along this axis which is passing through its center, and 3 point masses each of mass 0.1 kg are attached on its periphery like that. So this system is released from rest, and due to the torque of mg of this mass m, I'll show you. Mg would be acting like that, therefore it would create some torque about center. And if I draw the cross sectional diagram, then this is the axis of rotation, this is a mass m, and this is another m, and this is the third one. So you can see that this mass would be creating the torque due to its mg, and therefore in the final equilibrium position the system would be like that after 90-degree rotation. So this is the diagram after 90-degree rotation. So these are the positions of the masses, and the net torque will be 0 because torque of these two masses would be cancelled out, and obviously torque of this mass would be 0 because this mg is already passing through the axis of rotation. So in this position we have to find out the angular velocity of this system. Now we can see that work done by mg from this position to this position would be, you can see that a mass m was situated at this position initially, and so it is in the final position also. So there is no difference for this position. A mass m would be situated at this position initially, and finally there is also a mass m at this position. So also there is no difference on this position, but this mass m has came down by a distance of r, you can see. So the work done by mg would be mgr. I am repeating this step again, that you can see that in this final configuration this mass has came down by a distance of r at this position, and this has gone up by a distance of r at this position. So the work done by mg on both of these two masses is net work done is 0, and the work done by mg on this mass is mg into r because this mass is finally situated at this position, this one. So the distance by which this mass has descended in the y direction is r, therefore work done by mg on this mass is mgr. So this is total work done on the system, and this total work done is utilized in the kinetic energy. Now we have already discussed that in rotational motion the kinetic energy is half I omega square only, because this is a pure rotational motion. Now the moment of inertia of this system about this axis would be capital M r square by 2, this is for the solid cylinder, plus 3 mr square. This is for the three masses which are attached on the periphery of the cylinder. So this mgr is equal to half I is mr square by 2 plus 3 mr square, and this is omega square. So this mass m, small m, is 0.1, g is 10, and radius is half. So this is also half, and capital M is given as 1 into the radius is 1 by 2, so it's square divided by 2 plus 3. The mass small m is 0.1 and radius is 1 by 2 whole square into omega square. Now cancelling this 1 by 2 with 1 by 2, so this is 1 is equal to, this is 1 by 8 plus this one is 3 by 4 into 0.1 into omega square. So I'm writing it down on the next page, that this is 1 is equal to 1 by 8 into this is 3 by 4, 3 by 40 we can say that. So plus 3 by 40 into omega square. So this is LCM is 40 and this is 5 plus 3 into omega square. So this is 1. So omega square is equal to 5 and omega is equal to root 5 radians per second. So this is the angular velocity of this cylinder in this position, which is the equilibrium position. So let's move on the next question now. In this question, you can see that there is a rigid body which is made up of three identical thin rods, each of length L and each of some mass m. It is not mentioned in the question, but we can assume that mass to be m. Now this forms a letter H, and this H is being hinged about this axis and it is free to rotate about this axis. Initially this H was in the horizontal position and it is allowed to go down, and we have to find out the angular velocity of this H when this H becomes vertical. So in this question also we have to balance, or we have to conserve the energy, and we can see that initially as this H was horizontal, so when this H would become vertical like that, so the mass m of this middle rod has descended by a length of L by 2, and the mass m of this lower rod has descended by a length of L. The mass m of this upper rod is at its initial position because this rod is not allowed to translate. In fact, the complete system is rotating about an axis which is passing through this rod. So the work done by mg on the complete system is the work done by mg on these two rods, this one and this one. So work done by mg on the middle rod is mgl by 2, as well as work done by mg on the lower rod is mgl. So this is 3 by 2 mgl. Now this work done has been utilized in kinetic energy of the system. So the kinetic energy of the system is half I omega square, where I is the moment of inertia of the system. And as we know that the moment of inertia of a rod along its own axis is 0, so the moment of inertia of this rod will be 0. The moment of inertia of this rod, this one about this axis, would be ml square by 3 because it is passing through its end. So this is m L square by 3 plus the moment of inertia of this rod about this axis can be calculated by applying parallel axis theorem. So if we assume that there is an axis which is passing through this rod, along the rod, so the moment of inertia of this rod, lower rod, about its central axis would be 0, and the moment of inertia about this axis would be 0 plus ml square. So this is the parallel axis theorem. So it is 0 plus ml square into omega square. So this is equal to 4, in fact 2 by 3 ml square omega square. So this kinetic energy is equal to work done by mg, because the work done by the gravity is being utilized completely in the form of kinetic energy of the system. So this is 3 this is 3 by 2 mgl is equal to 2 by 3 m L square omega square. So cancelling this m with m, L with L, omega square is equal to 9g by 4L, and hence omega is equal to root of 9g by 4L. So this is the correct answer. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, you can see that there is a disc, and this disc is containing a rod of length L, and this rod is fixed on this disc. It is not slipping on the disc. Now this complete system is rotating with an angular velocity of omega about this center, and the center of the rod is at a distance of r from the center of the disc. Now we have to find out the kinetic energy of the rod. So the kinetic energy of the rod can be determined by the formula half I omega square, but this I should be about this point O. So the moment of inertia of the rod about its own center is m L square by 12. So this is ml square by 12, and the distance of center from this is r. So the moment of inertia IO would be ml square by 12 plus mr square. So the kinetic energy of the rod would be half ml square by 12 plus mr square into omega square. So this is the kinetic energy of the rod. Now you can also find out this kinetic energy by finding the velocity of the center of the rod, which is v is equal to r omega, and writing the kinetic energy of the rod as half mv square, as well as this rod is also rotating about its central axis. So writing that angular kinetic energy as half I omega square. The result would be same. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a pulley which has a moment of inertia of 3 kilogram into meter square. This is mentioned in the question, and the radius of the pulley is 1 meter. Now there is a string which is winded up on this pulley, and this string is attached with a block of mass 3 kg. Now this system is released from rest, and we have to find out the linear velocity of the block in the time when it has descended by a distance of 0.4 meters. It is given in centimeters, but I am mentioning it in meters. So this is 0.4 meters. So let us suppose that the velocity of this block is v, and obviously when this block would be moving in the downward direction, then this pulley would be rotating in clockwise sense with some angular velocity omega, and the omega and v would be related to each other by the relation omega is equal to v upon r. So this is omega, and radius is given as 1, so this is v, because r is given as 1 meter. So the work done by the mg on this block 3 kg would be mgh, where h is 0.4 meter. So m is 3, g is 10, and h is given as 0.4. So this is work done by mg, which is equal to 12. Now this work done will be utilized in the kinetic energy of this pulley as well as the kinetic energy of the block. So the kinetic energy of the system is half I omega square is for the pulley, as well as half mv square is for the block. So the kinetic energy is half I is given as 3, omega is v, so this is v square, plus half the mass of the block is 3, and this is also v square. So k will be equal to 3v square. You can see that. So this kinetic energy will be equal to work done by mg, and therefore 12 is equal to 3v square and v is equal to 2 meters per second. So this is the final answer. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a small solid cylinder which is released from the top position, and the height of that top position is h. We have to find out the velocity, linear velocity of the cylinder at the time when it reaches the horizontal surface in the lower part. Now let's suppose that the linear velocity of the cylinder is v, and obviously it is given that the cylinder is always pure rolling. So v would be equal to r omega if r is the radius of the cylinder. So the work done by mg on the cylinder is mgh, and this work done is being utilized in kinetic energy of the cylinder. So the kinetic energy of the cylinder would be half mv square plus half I omega square, because cylinder is rolling as well as translating. So this is half mv square plus half I. The moment of inertia of the solid cylinder is mr square by 2, and omega is equal to v by r. So this is v square by r square. So the kinetic energy of this solid cylinder is mv square is common. In fact, half mv square is common. This is 1 plus 1 by 2. So this is 3 by 4 mv square. And this kinetic energy is equal to the mgh. So mgh is equal to 3 by 4 mv square. So v is equal to under root 4gh by 3. So this is the final answer. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a uniform ball of mass m which is rolling on a fixed horizontal surface without sliding. And in this case, if the velocity of the center is VO, and therefore velocity of the bottom point would be 0. Now it is given in the question that the velocity of the lowest point of the ball with respect to the center of the ball is v. So velocity of the lowest point b with respect to O will be vb minus vo, and vb is 0 and vo is vo. So that is equal to v. So we can say that vo has a magnitude which is equal to v. Now if this ball, which is assumed to be solid sphere, you can always assume the ball as a solid sphere. So this is a solid sphere, and therefore if it is moving with the velocity of v naught, then its center, then the complete sphere would be rotating about the center with an angular velocity of omega also. So the kinetic energy of the sphere is half mv square plus half I omega square, where I is 2 by 5 mr square and omega is v square by r square. So cancelling this r square with r square, so this is 1 by 2 mv square plus this is 1 by 5 mv square. So this is 7. In fact, this kinetic energy is 7 by 10 mv square. So the kinetic energy of this ball will be 7 by 10 mv square. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a uniform meter stick which is held vertically, and its one end is lying on the rough floor. Now this stick starts to slip, in fact starts to roll down on the ground in such a way such that the end which is touching the ground is at rest and it does not slip. So we have to find out the speed with which this end B will strike the ground. So let us first of all name the ends. This is A and this is B. So this is A and this is B. So we know that this will rotate about the end A because end A is at rest and it is not slipping on the ground. Now we know that initially the center of mass of the rod is at a height of L by 2 and L is obviously 1, so this height H is 1 by 2. Now when this rod is on the verge of touching the ground horizontally, then this center of mass has been descended by a distance of H, which is 1 by 2. Therefore work done by mg on this rod will be mgh. So this work done mgh will be equal to change in kinetic energy delta k, and that will be half I omega square. Now we know that the moment of inertia of the rod about its one end, this one, is equal to ml square by 3, and this is omega square and this is equal to mgh, where h is 1 by 2. Now cancelling this m with m and half with half, this omega will be equal to 3 because L is equal to 1, 3 into 10 in fact, and omega will be equal to root 30. Now we have to find out the velocity of this point B. So velocity of this point B, VB, will be equal to L omega. So L is 1 and omega is under root 30. So root 30 can be written as root 3g. So the correct answer would be option number B. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a uniform rod which is initially horizontal and it is hinged at a distance of L by 4 from this end. So let us first of all name the ends, that this is A and this is B. Now we have to find out the velocity, angular velocity of the rod when it becomes vertical. Now first of all, let us locate the center of mass of the rod, and therefore the center of mass of this rod would be at a distance of L by 4 from hinge. This is center of mass. So this mg would be acting in the downward direction. Now when this rod will become vertical, then the center of mass would be lying at a depth of L by 4 below the hinge, and therefore work done by mg on the rod would be mgh, where h is the height by which center of mass has descended. So this is mgl by 4, and this work done would be equal to the rotational kinetic energy of the rod, half I omega square, where I should be the moment of inertia of the rod about the hinge. So the moment of inertia of the rod about the hinge can be calculated by parallel axis theorem, and we know that the moment of inertia about center of mass plus this is m L by 4 whole square. So the moment of inertia about center of mass is ml square by 12 and this is ml square by 16. So this moment of inertia of the rod would be 4 plus 3 ml square, and therefore mgl by 4 will be equal to half into 7 upon 48 ml square into omega square, cancelling m with m, L with L. 4 is cancelled by 2 and remaining 2 is cancelling this 48 and it is 24. So this omega square will be equal to 24g by 7l, and therefore omega will be equal to under root of 24g by 7l. So the correct answer among these options would be option number C. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a ring whose mass is same as that of this Planck B, and this ring is given an initial velocity v, and it is rolling on this Planck initially. So initially I can say that v is equal to r omega for the ring. So this Planck does not have any friction, neither this surface has any friction, so there is no friction anywhere, and we have to find out the maximum height attained by this ring on the Planck. So finally, let's suppose that this ring attains a height of h above the Planck, and in this case the velocity of ring with respect to Planck is 0 because it is at maximum height, so it would not be moving with respect to Planck. And let's suppose that this combined system is moving with some velocity v. So let us suppose that this ring and this Planck is moving with some velocity v in this horizontal direction, because momentum should be conserved. So let's suppose that the combined system is moving with some velocity v in horizontal direction. So let's suppose this is v dash, because v is already given. So we know that the momentum of the system would be conserved because there is no external force acting on the system. So mv is the initial momentum of the ring, and that would be equal to 2m v dash. So v dash would be v by 2. So this is the velocity of this ring, this system finally. And also we know that initial kinetic energy was half mv square as well as half I omega square of the ring, because ring is rolling purely. So this is half mv square plus half I omega square, where I is mr square and omega is v by r. So this is v square by r square. So cancelling this r square with r square, the initial kinetic energy would be mv square. Now finally, when the ring is at the top point of the Planck like that, so in this case ring would be rotating with the same omega as it was rotating initially, because there is no friction anywhere and there is no torque which is manipulating omega. So omega would remain same because there is no friction and there is no torque to change omega. So the final kinetic energy would be half into 2m v dash square plus half I omega square for the ring, because this component of kinetic energy half I omega square of the ring would remain same. So final kinetic energy would be m v dash square plus half mr square into v square by r square, because omega was the initial one and it is equal to initial velocity v upon r. So the final kinetic energy is m v dash square plus m v square by 2. Now this v dash is equal to v by 2. V dash is equal to v by 2. So the final kinetic energy is m v square by 4 plus m v square by 2. So it is 3 by 4 mv square. Now we know that the loss in kinetic energy is initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy. So this loss will be, initially it was mv square, this one. So this is mv square minus 3 by 4 mv square. So this loss of kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 4 mv square, and this loss of kinetic energy is the work done against mg. So work done against mg is equal to mgh. So mgh is equal to half mv square, and therefore h is equal to v square by 2g. So this is the height attained by the ring on this plank. So this is 4, because we have calculated that loss to be 1 by 4 mv square. So this is 1 by 4 mv square, and therefore this height would be v square by 4g. So the correct option will be option number B. So now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a rod of mass m and length L, and this rod is hinged from this position, from one end. Also on the other end of the rod, there is a mass m which is stick on the other end, and this system should be this system is given some velocity v minimum. So we have to find out that for what minimum velocity v minimum this system will complete the vertical circle. Now for this system to complete the vertical circle, let us draw the diagram of the top point. So at the top point of the motion, if this system is at rest, then also this mass will not fall down, and this rod will complete the vertical motion. So the minimum velocity at the top point can be 0, and therefore if we write down the equation of energy conservation between the bottom point and the top point, so the energy at bottom point is half I omega square, where omega is omega 1, and omega 1 is equal to V minimum upon L. So we are assuming that initially when we have provided the velocity V minimum, then omega about this axis is omega 1. So omega 1 will be equal to V minimum by L, and the moment of inertia of this system would be ml square by 3 for the rod, as well as ml square for this mass, because this mass is a point mass which is at a distance of L from the hinge. So the energy at the bottom is equal to half into, this is 4 by 3 ml square and omega 1, which is equal to V minimum square by L square. So cancelling this L square, and this is, so energy at the bottom is equal to 2 by 3 m V minimum square. Now the energy at the top point is equal to only the potential energy, because at the top point the minimum velocity for completing the vertical circle is 0. So at the top point the energy is mgh, and it is m for the rod is m, and in the bottom to the top position the center of mass of the rod has ascended up by a distance of L, because when it will rotate and rod will become vertical, Then initially the center of mass was under the hinge by a distance of L by 2, and finally the center of mass would be over the hinge by a distance of L by 2. So the distance ascended by the center of mass of the rod would be L, and the work done, or we can say the potential energy of the rod, has increased by mgl. And also the distance ascended by this mass will be 2L, because initially it was under the hinge by a distance of L, and finally it is over the hinge by a distance of L. So this is also 2 mgl. So energy at the top would be equal to 3 mgl. So equating the energy at the bottom and energy at the top, so I can write down that by the energy conservation, 2 by 3 mv minimum square is equal to 3 mgl. Cancelling this m with m, so v minimum will be equal to 3 under root gl by 2. So this can be written as under root 9 gl by 2, and obviously 9 by 2 is 4.5. So the correct option is C. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a pulley which has a moment of inertia of 0.1 kilogram meter square, and its radius is 10 centimeters. There is a string which is going over this pulley, and this string is applying some friction on the pulley, so that this pulley will rotate along with the string, and this string will never slip on this pulley. So as this string will go over the pulley, and then the pulley will also rotate. Now there is a mass of 11 kg which is connected on this end of this string, and there is a spring whose spring constant is 100 is connected on the other end. Now this mass is released from the rest, and we have to find out the speed of this mass when it has descended by a distance of 10 centimeters. So let us suppose that h is equal to 10 centimeter, and in meters it is 0.1. So the work done by mg on the system will be mg into h, where m is 11, g is 10, and h is 0.1. So this is equal to 11 joules. Okay, and this work done by mg has been utilized in 3 parts. One part is the linear kinetic energy of this mass m, which is half mv square. The other part is the rotational kinetic energy of the pulley, which is half I omega square, and the third part is the spring potential energy. So this work done by mg is equal to half mv square of the block plus half I omega square for this pulley plus half kx square for the spring. Okay, so let us suppose that the linear velocity of the block is v, and therefore this pulley would be rotating like that. So omega will be equal to v by r, and let us find out the final expression, and then we'll substitute the values. Okay, so this is final energy, which is work done by mg is 11, and this is equal to half. The mass of this block is 11, and v square is needed to be calculated, as well as half I omega square. I is given as 0.1, and omega is v by r. So this is v square by r square, where r is given as 0.1. Okay, plus half k is 100, and x is obviously equal to h, because the distance by which this block has descended is the same distance by which the spring would be extended. So this is 0.1 whole square. So 11 is equal to 11 by 2 v square plus this is 5 v square and plus this is 1 by 2, because 100 into 0.1 square is 1. So 11 v square plus 5 v square 11 v square plus 5 v square 11 by 2 v square in fact plus 5 v square is equal to 11 minus 1 by 2, 11 minus 1 by 2. So this is 21 v square by 2, and that is equal to 22 minus 1, which is 21 by 2. So v is equal to 1. So the velocity with which this block would be moving in this position when it has descended by a distance of 0.1 would be 1 meter per second square. Thank you. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a uniform circular disc of radius r and mass m, and this disc is hinged about this axis PQ. So this disc can only rotate about this axis PQ, and this axis is at a distance of r by 4 from the center of the disc. Now there is another particle of mass m which is attached permanently on the disc at the top point A, and this disc is being released from this position in which this point A is on the highest point above the axis. Now when this disc is released, it will roll down, and we have to find out the linear velocity of point A when it would be at the lowest point. So let us draw that diagram in which this point A would be at the lowest point. So let us suppose that this is the case in which the point A would be at the lowest position, and obviously we can easily sense that we have to conserve the energy and we have to find out the velocities. So let us suppose that when this ring has descended down, the angular velocity of the ring is omega about this axis, and obviously then the linear velocity of point A can be calculated. But first of all, we have to conserve the energy. So this ring has descended in such a way such that the center of this ring was initially above the axis by a distance of r by 4, and now this center has descended by a total distance of r by 2, because it is now below the axis by a distance of r by 4. So the total distance by which this center has descended is r by 2. So work done by mg on the disc is mg r by 2, as well as this point A, which is initially at a height of r plus r by 4, which is 5 r by 4, is now at a depth of 5 r by 4. So this point A has descended down by a distance of this is 5r by 2. So work done by mg on this point A would be mg into 5r by 2, because there is a mass m which is attached on this disc at point A. So this is 3 mgr, the total work done by mg on the system. Now this total work done would be final kinetic energy of the system, and that final kinetic energy would be half I omega square. So the final kinetic energy will be half the moment of inertia of the disk about this axis. We know, I'm drawing that. So this is the axis, and the moment of inertia of this disk about this COM axis is m r square by 4. So the total moment of inertia I of the system would be m r square by 4 plus parallel axis theorem. plus m r square by 16 is for the disk, as well as for that mass which is attached at point A is m into 5r by 4 whole square. So this is mr square is common and 4 is also common. So this is 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 25 by 4. So this is equal to this is 4 plus 1 plus 25, and that is 30 by 4. So 30 by 16, and therefore it is equal to 15 by 2, 15 by 8 mr square. This is 30 by 4, and this 4 in 4 is 16. So this is 30 by 16, which is 15 by 8 mr square. So the work done by mg is equal to final kinetic energy, and obviously the initial kinetic energy was 0. So the work done by mg is 3 mgr, and that is equal to the final kinetic energy, which is half I omega square, where I is 15 by 8 mr square and omega square. So this is 5, and cancelling m with m, r with r. So omega square is equal to 16 by 5 g by r root. So omega, in fact this is omega. So omega will be equal to 4 under root g by 5r, and you can substitute the value of g as 10. So 10 by 5 is 2, and the value of r will be substituted afterwards. Now we have to find out the linear velocity of point A. So this point A is at a distance of 5 r by 4 from the axis. So its linear velocity will be 5 by 4 into r omega. So this is 5 by 4 r into omega is 4 under root 2 by r. So cancelling this 4 with 4. So this is under root of 50 under root of this is 5 root 2r. Now this is VA, and VA is equal to root of 50 r, and it can be also written as root of 5 gr. If we compare it to under root n gr, which is given in the question, then n is equal to 5. So this is the final answer. Now let's move on the next question. In this question, there is a cylinder of mass m and radius r, which is always rolling without slipping on this inclined plane, and it is connected, its center is connected to a spring of a spring constant k. Now this cylinder is released from rest in a position in which the spring was initially unstretched, and we have to find out the maximum displacement of this cylinder. So let's suppose that the displacement of the cylinder is x, which is the maximum displacement. So in the case when the cylinder would be at this point, the velocity of the cylinder would be 0, because this is the maximum displacement, and the angular velocity would also be 0. So the work done by mg would be mg sine theta into x max, and that work done would be completely utilized in the spring potential energy, because the final kinetic energy and the initial kinetic energy of the cylinder was 0. So cancelling this x max with x max is equal to 2 mg sine theta by k. So the correct answer would be option number C. Thank you.